Hey there, friend, it's Mark from Men Who Bullet, and we're going to be setting up this planner again for this week. This is part of my 2-week trial using a disc-bound planner, replacing my bullet journal. I've definitely learned a lot over this week in trying to use this differently. My brain is still getting used to it, but I thought I would share with you just some quick reflections. We'll do a full recap video of this on a separate video, kind of talking over the pros and cons of bullet journaling versus the disc-bound planner, what I liked, what I didn't like. But you get a little glimpse of that right now as we kind of do a flip through of last week and then talk about what we're going to do for this upcoming week. So I've gone through and I just kind of wanted to show you what the week started out like, what it ended like, and how I kind of maneuvered around it. So I thought I would start off the week with kind of overall goals, utilizing these blank spaces on these dailies. So these are dailies from Tool, and they have this just open blank space. And I thought, well, if this is all schedules, then why not put like an overview or a daily overview up here? One thing for sure that I've noticed is, while I do enjoy the daily approach, it's a lot of space. This is also an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper for these inserts, which I think is probably a little bit too large for me just because there's a lot of open space. But I think it also has to do with how the space is used. So I started off a little like task note here for some things I needed to get done. I filled out my schedule throughout each of the days, and then I used the to-do list space over here. The problem is that the to-do list space is ginormous. The notes are very small. So I was trying to figure out how I would work this out essentially. Going into the second day here, same deal, just trying to kind of get this all to work together, utilize some of the task space here. But then I started to figure out like, hey, I got to start doing like notes or something. So I had these note pages that I was bringing along with me day to day and inserting inside of here and keeping like a running list of notes. But it started to get a little bit ridiculous. I felt like tearing out a page, flipping the page, putting the notes back in. So I created a dedicated space for notes. I'll get to that in just a second. By the time that I got to like Wednesday, I was kind of done from a standpoint of not really using this to-do space, filling up my notes, creating the extra note pages and things like that. It just ended up being a lot. I didn't really feel like I was utilizing this the right way. So I kind of changed up my flow on Thursday and Friday, and what I did is I actually changed this section over here and just put a little flag over it for now, from to do to notes, because for me, I need more note space than I need for those extra tasks and to-dos. And on top of that, I also was keeping this running list throughout the day. I didn't mind taking this day to day with me just because I felt like it was a good thing to do. One of my followers actually recommended me doing this. They do this inside of their planner, and I thought, I'm okay with taking like a little note page like this, but like notes and multiple pages felt like a lot. So I did end up doing that and kind of bringing that through day to day as I went into it. And then getting into the last day of the week, again, really utilizing this more as notes than this. I did also create for myself a dedicated notes space. So I wanted to create collection pages similar to what I do inside of my bullet journal. I did get these cool little tab inserts from Desk Gems last week, and I'm going to use them in my bullet journal, but I thought this is a great way to kind of call it out. I just took a piece of cardstock that I had. I have the tool hole punch for the disc bound, just, put a hole punch in that and then added that little tab. And that way, that's where I knew my notes were. And so I started to kind of have those general notes that I had going day to day, and pop that here in the back. And then I started to create more what I would call my collection pages. And I had to take a few of those out because they just had a lot of information on it that I couldn't cover with washi. But those all lived back here. And then I have my upcoming week here. So that's all that I did. I'll tell you, overall, I don't know that I'm loving necessarily this setup with these pages. I think that I'm going to work with it this week. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that in just a moment. But I think for me, more than anything, it's just that I don't work this way inside of my bullet journal. So it was a little bit harder for me to try to figure out how do I make this work. So what I'm going to do is we're going to come all the way up here, and I'm going to put this new week up in the front. And then I'm actually going to take this week and I'm just going to move it to the back, and that way I have the notes. I'll probably be migrating some of these things over into this week anyway, but we're just going to set that to the side for right now and put in all of these pages. While I'm doing this, I'm going to chat with you a little bit about what I'm going to change this week. So this week I don't need Sunday in here. I do need Monday. So I did put a handful of notes ahead. It's one of the things I did like about having these dailies and weeklies is that I could add some notes for that upcoming week. So I have a lot of, or not a lot, but a handful of notes in here for some of the things that are going on throughout the week. I'm also going to change the to-do section to notes. I just like that a lot better. It's how I would use this day to day. And then I'll still have my daily task or reminders in this tab here that's going to go along with me throughout the week. So let's go back over here and pop it open for that first day. So to do this, I'm going to use some of these stickers that came in one of the Archer and Olive subscription boxes a few back, and they do have this little notes section down here. I'm sorry, this is actually from the Messy and Bright box, I think is what this one was from. But I'm going to take these note sections here, and I'm just going to cover up the to-dos just because I don't want to confuse myself. I also want to add a little bit of design. That's the other thing. I've been absolutely missing the creative part of planning inside of here, and I don't feel very obligated. That's not the right word I'm looking for here, but like very motivated. That's the word I'm looking for. I just don't feel very motivated to add anything extra to these pages here. I don't know why. I feel like it is much more kind of a utilitarian, functional planner versus, I'll leave that, extra space for creativity. Just, I don't know. That's just the way that I've been kind of looking at it as I've gone day to day. So I missed that part of it for sure. I know there are ways that you can certainly add creativity and design into your pages. I've seen a lot of people that do that online, but I just haven't been able to really, I don't know, get the motivation to do that. So this will be the most that I feel like these pages are going to start to look like, but we'll get them to work and we'll make it work. The other thing that I really missed is an overview. So I want to show you real quick. I actually decided to go into Zinnia. What I love about Zinnia is it has a ton of templates in there that you can use for all different sizes of notebooks. And they actually have an 8.5 by 11 page. And I was able to pick out some, and then I was able to put them out on these pages essentially and print them out. So I went ahead and I printed these out. So I have 3 different versions. I'm just going to try to see what I like. I really like this one a lot. It has kind of just that weekly overview, a top level priorities, to-do list, appointments, kind of notes for an overview, which I thought was cool. I liked this one here too. It was kind of neat, kind of had a lot of the same elements to it. Notes for the following week, goals for this week, a checklist, kind of creative space, or just like a bulleted space over here or grid, and then a weekly overview. And then I forgot that I had my own weeklies in there. So this is something that I've actually used for myself. So I don't know which one I'm going to use. We're just going to hole punch all of them and put them in here. And that way I'll just be ready in case I want to do anything different inside of these weeks. I didn't print this out on cardstock. This is just regular printer paper. So I will have to be careful with my pen for the week, but I thought I would try them out, see what I like, and then maybe find a good one, and maybe something that could be helpful for you. So my next step for the week is going to be to take all of last week's notes and then migrate anything over to these upcoming weeks, both whether it's in my overview task list that I have here that I need to accomplish, or if it is just in my notes or kind of bringing things over there. I'll be taking care of that too. So this will be the weekly plan for the week. I'll have that full video in the near future, and updates, of course, over on my Instagram stories as I'm going throughout the week and talking about how well this works or doesn't work for this week. I'll talk to you later on. See ya.